Bam! What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. We'll let this room fill up a little bit and we'll explain what's going on here today. How's everybody doing? And by the way, I will do some cut critique, so if you want, go ahead and everything's backwards. Send it to this email right here, and we'll get to that towards the end of the show. And we're just gonna go live for a little bit here. We're not gonna be out here all night again. Let's see how many people do we got up in here. We got one. No, we have none. All right, we got one. Let's go. Actually, no, we have a lot more than one. All right. The bathroom barber's in the house. What's up, Manny? What's up, Steve? And what's up, Dom? We got Vinny the vlogger in the house. What's up, man? All right, you guys. I was just looking at a cut I did today. I don't know if it's going to show up, but I want to show you guys what I'm about to post a tutorial on. I realize this picture's like a tiny bit blurry. It might not even let me put it in here. It won't let me put it in there. It's a blurry fade though. You guys are gonna enjoy it. You're gonna like it. All right. Cool, man. Everybody's in the house. Good. We got a bunch of people in here. We're good to go. Okay, you guys. So just to give you guys a little bit of update on what's going on with Chico Boom in the live. I'll show you guys the thumbnail. You know what it looks like. Let's see here. Oh, you guys want to see some of the other stuff I'm working on too? I'll show you a couple of the other ones here. So this gentleman right here was unable to make it tonight, but we have rescheduled for next Tuesday at 7 p.m. So next Tuesday at 7 p.m. So I'm going to be going live 4 times in 2 weeks. So that's pretty good. And we're going to have him. He's a real inspirational dude. You guys are going to enjoy what he brings to the table. He's got a lot of good vibes and just, you know, he's really doing a lot of things. And he's actually local to my area. It would be kind of hard not to know who he is. I know that some of you guys might not know him, but he's an influencer. And he certainly is a master of haircutting and definitely a master of advertising himself. And he's got a really, really cool shop in my area as well, which is awesome. So that's what's coming down the pipe. So we'll be doing that one. The next 2 things I got going on, I got this release coming very soon. Best Razor. This is ready to go. I actually pushed this back a little bit because we got a couple other things. So what I did here in this video was I went through different styles of razor holders, different razors, and I'll give you guys my recommendations for the best razors, blades, and etc. That one's in the pipe. Let's see what else do we got here. I have my Dream Barber Station. Bam. There's another one that's in the works here. We're working on this one here. This one should be up within a week or so. And the latest one to drop that you guys can't see yet, let me see if I got the thumb in here. Not sure if I do. I do not believe I have it in here. Let me see. Is actually for the Gamma Prodigies. The Gamma Prodigy. And I'm not sure what I did with the thumbs on that one, but anyways, yeah, so that one's going to release tomorrow. Okay, so the Gamma video is going to release tomorrow. I took a couple creative risks in there. I'm just trying to make these videos more interesting and, you know, fun to watch. And oh, here we go. I actually had the thumb sitting right up here. So that's what's going to release tomorrow. I believe I set it for like 11 a.m. or something like that. So yeah, that'll be up there. You guys can kind of see how I'm looking for the first unboxing, see some of the use of it, and I have it right here behind me, and I've had it up against the side of my head today, and it was lovely. It was lovely. It really cuts clean, it cuts smooth, and it's good. It's good. So I'm not sure if many of you guys are getting back to work yet or not. I'm just curious. Is anybody in there still? Everybody in there is still waiting for their shop to open, or like how is your guys' situations? Because in Florida, we're practically back to business as usual. I know the headlines got us kind of pegged as like we're just getting annihilated down here. My nana thinks I'm fighting for my life down here to stay alive, but it's actually been going pretty smooth. It's been good. Manny, I'm gonna actually reach out to him again when I get a chance. It would have been cool if he could have actually filled in tonight, but I didn't even think to reach out to him. So yeah, we got a lot of cool videos coming. I got 3 scheduled up. Those will be good. And then we're going to be going. We're gonna be going. I got a mohawk fade I want to drop as well on you guys. Show you guys how I did that. And it sounds like some of you, yeah, it sounds like you're going a little bit slower. I would tell you guys this, like if you're finding yourself with downtime in your shop, one of the things that I really did to decrease my downtime in the shop was I try to utilize it and just I try to squeak every waking moment to do something good. And what I wound up doing was a lot of videos, a lot of photos, a lot of stuff like that to help my Instagram followers, to help my shop grow. And if you guys can get yourself a decent little camera, start learning how to edit, it's definitely going to help you in the future. There's no way that you're going to oh wow, how about that? He said, greetings all the way from South Africa. I've been up for the live. It's 1 a.m. here. Wow, that's really cool, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and your commitment. And as a matter of fact, one of my favorite authors is Wilbur Smith, and he's an African historian, and I have just been infatuated with Africa for years. And someday I really do hope to visit. So the Cali shops are back open. I seen some outdoor cuts going on. Yeah, I actually seen a picture of some people from Sports Clips cutting outside. So I never thought I'd see that. I never thought I'd see that. So back to the full-time shop. Oh wow, I'm cutting full-time, but not in the shop. The shop closed for good on you, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh yeah. Oh, I've been doing them a little bit earlier. I've been doing them a little bit earlier. It might not be great for everybody. The Saturday night 5 o'clock show has been pretty good. I've been getting some pretty good stuff. Yeah, Steve, I would love to talk about this. In fact, I would like to start talking about this on the channel a little bit because I really love film, you guys. Like I'm actually planning on working on a couple skits. I think you guys are gonna find them pretty funny. And it's just this like creative release for me, and I've come to really, really love it. Finding clients all the time for film work too. So if you guys think about this, like I've never really thought of barbering as like the end all be all for me. Like this is a catalyst to help me get other places in my life because I love cutting hair. I love meeting people and knowing everybody in the town, and it's just an amazing thing to be able to do. But in the event that something happens, like what has just recently happened to us, it sure was nice to know that I had a backup in place. And I was actually able to do enough film work, freelancing, during the time that my shop was closed that I broke about even. So, there's a lot of different softwares you guys can use, but I would tell you this, like just from years of, I've been editing now for like over 10 years. And I'll be honest, I never really took it super serious until the last couple of years. I've actually started to increase my I've been flexing a little bit more with my editing skills. Before it was sort of like this, the YouTube was designed for me. I was just trying to help you guys learn. That's all YouTube was for me. It wasn't really about fancy edits or different tricks or camera stuff. I was just trying to tell you guys what I know and trying to share it with you. But then I realized I was doing it kind of in a boring way, and I wanted to be more interesting and more watchable for you guys. So I'm putting a lot more work into each video, and I know that some of you guys are starting to notice. Even the thumbnails and stuff, I've been taking extra time to, just do them nice and try to do a nice job. But the original question was, is there any good editing software I'd recommend? Absolutely. I love Final Cut, and if you're a PC user, I like Premiere Pro. Those were the two that I'm strongest with. And that's my personal favorite is Final Cut now because it's just so fast. It can just do so many things. Hey, what up, Barber Flav G? What's going on, man? From Chicago. Hey, he's gonna drive up to Naples. Okay, cool, man. Come through. We'll be here. But yeah, we're doing well in the shop. We're staying pretty busy. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we do a lot of videos. We do a lot of legwork. We post in the right places. I'm trying to get all my people that work for me on board with that as well. And they are. In fact, Johan's really kicking butt with the editing. Chad's taking an interest in the cameras as well. So he's been picking up a camera and snapping up a lot of shots lately. That's been super helpful. If you're not busy in your shop too, you can you can pick up a camera and you can help somebody else as well. That's the cool thing about these skills. So it's like, yeah, cutting hair is like half the battle, but I guess the other half of the battle, or maybe even more than half of the battle, is getting those clients to trust you and to walk into your shop, or to give them a reason to walk into your shop. So, that's kind of where it all becomes sort of self-perpetuating. People want to come there because they see you're doing good work. They can see that easily through the camera. Your personality sort of shines through it a little bit. They say, hey, he's got a bunch of Bills stuff in there. Maybe, I would like to go there too because I'm sure he's a Bills fan and so am I. So they start to learn a little bit about you, and it helps you grow. But the other thing that's interesting about filming yourself a lot is it forces you to confront mistakes that you make. Like, as good as I feel like I am at this, and I'm 18 years in, if I haven't got it figured out now, I feel like everybody could kind of benefit from this. There's been so many times where I've thought I've just knocked a cut out of the park, and then I'm watching the film and I realize, like, I sort of rushed here, or I made a mistake there, and I'm like, that didn't even need to happen. Like, why did I do that? I was so close to making it absolutely perfect. So, that's where it's at. So, like, I feel like I would like to start dropping some tutorials about editing and about getting started. And, I feel like, that's probably the direction I want to go with the channel. Like, just a little bit, I don't want to take too far away from barbering, but it would be impossible to bury your head in the sand and ignore the fact that barbering and filming and taking photos is all starting to kind of come together. You can't bury your head in the sand and just think that people are going to come in your shop when other shops are doing a better job at advertising themselves. So that's that's one of the things. I'm trying to drop a photo in here, but it's a raw file, so it won't even let me put that one in there. So yeah, the software generally for Final Cut, one of the things that sucks about getting started in the Mac ecosystem is it's expensive. You're going to need to spend somewhere between like $2,000 to $3,000 for a decent computer that you can keep for a couple of years. And then little by little, you don't do this overnight, but like little by little, you just start getting things. Like your phone is a hell of a tool. Like, if you have an iPhone, the way that my iPhone communicates with my Mac is it's so good. So many times, like, I film little portions of my videos, even though I got cameras that are really expensive. A lot of times I just need a little clip of me saying something, or a little clip of something, or just those close-up shots of me actually using the tools. I use my cell phone for that stuff all the time. Just make sure I'm filming in the right frame rate, and boom, we're good to go. And I see you, Steve. I see you dropping those little edits. I seen him dropping a couple little edits, and you're a great graphic designer already, Steve. That's a skill that I don't have, and there's times where I have to outsource to other people for different types of graphics and stuff like that when I have clients that want things that are complicated, and I'm not a graphics artist. I'm an editor and a filmer. So when you get down to it, you got to go to who does what best. So if that's something you guys are interested in, seeing some of that, I would be more than happy to start doing that. So that's the thing. He said, Eddie, you need to make an online course for certification, and maybe money you could be making. You're a great instructor. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. The thing is, well, I'm just trying to keep it free for everybody. Like, I know that keeping it free for you means no money for me, but at the same time, you guys always support the channel in different ways. Like, when you buy Gamma products and you use my code, that helps the channel grow. When you guys do your donations and stuff like that, that helps the channel grow. Like, I would rather keep it like voluntary. If you want to contribute a little bit, or if you feel like I helped you a little bit, great. If you can't afford anything right now, dude, that's totally fine. Like, that's the thing, is like, I recognize that a lot of you guys are watching this channel because you need to grow your skills, or you want to change careers, or you're taking those first steps in your journey. And let's face it, man, there's nothing easy about doing this, especially if you're doing this later in life. So maybe you got kids, maybe you got payments, a house, the mortgage, the whole 9 yards, and you're trying to find time to go to school for nights. So I don't want to take more money away from you guys. I would much rather you just come here and learn for free. And if you're happy, You know, you throw a donation here or there. You just buy a Gamma product or buy a product from one of my affiliates. That all helps out, and you wind up with a great product as well. Because I'm never going to tell you guys to buy anything that I don't support. So, you know, as much as I love Gamma, if they put out something that I didn't like, or in an instance where they did put out something that I didn't like, which was the initial very first round of the Absolute Hitter, which was like years ago, I told them that I didn't like it, and then they updated it, and they really blew me away with the changes they made. And I mean, now look at them. They're definitely arguably in the top 3 for trimmers. I think they're number 1 for clipper. I don't think there's another clipper out there that can compare with the Ergo. I love this thing. I think that this new electric shaver is going to make some waves too. Check this out, you guys. I want you guys to see this little photo. Oh, it's very little. Can I draw? All right. So this is actually kind of neat. This pad is just a regular wireless charging pad that you see here. Now, you can actually disconnect this. These actually have batteries in them as well, and you can put your charger, you can put your unit down right on top of this, and it will charge. And it doesn't really take that long, you know. And you can actually do a nice job. If like that's the coolest thing about Gamma is like they, all right. So they've taken like an industry that has gone nowhere for like 100 years, except for the cordless clippers. But we've basically had the same clippers. We get new shells every once in a while. There's very minimal updates. But yes, and just so you guys know, it does work for Stylecraft as well. So it's on both sites. Thank you, Juan, for mentioning that. It's on both sites. So, you know, if you go to Gamma or you go to Stylecraft, it's the same. You guys can use Eddie, the code for both of them. So he said I should have more than let's see here. Don't let any obstacles stop you. Even divas who don't like this channel, all you need to do is all you need to do. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Totally why I wanted to do some of Eddie's Army merch so I can try to help you out. In fact, I don't mind to do it. The T-shirts and the hoodies. And, you know, yeah, just you guys know, if you guys go to Eddie's Army at Instagram, my friend Steve here he's doing some stuff. But I haven't even done really anything as far as like, you know, any type of merchandise that I actually produce myself. I have a couple little things going on with like that Teespring thing. I haven't updated it or touched that in forever. So yeah, I'm just trying to do my best to keep it free. If you guys want to support me through buying some of the stuff and using my links, that's awesome. And if you can't, that's awesome too, you know. The best way to blend them, Pascal. All right, he wants to talk about the lines. We could talk about the lines for a second. If you watch, we're actually going to get into the, I believe I got that listed in phase 4 as the blend. We're going to get deep into that again. But I actually have 2 videos. One is like how to erase the skin line, and I think I also did a live on this, and we covered it really extensively. But to understand how to get the line out, you need to know what you're putting it in with. So if you're putting your line in the way that I do it, I'll put it in with a 5-0. Go under there with the electric shaver, and then you're left with that harsh 5-0 line, right? Well, we'll set in our first guideline with the open taper in the open position. And as I begin working in about the width of my finger or maybe an inch, all right? So I've come up and I've created a guideline about this wide, right? The moment I click it down, I'm going to stay down 1. And the Gamma is nice because they have a click, so you can literally follow it click by click. Stay down 1. Click it again, stay down 1. Click it again, stay down 1 until you got it entirely wiped out. That's just a quick that's just a quick explanation of it. But it's great, you know, it's a great method, and that's what I use all the time. So yeah, I would actually like to do this. Definitely, I would like to do this. Some of you guys who are here all the time, I would love to invite you on the channel one of these days, because I honestly like people like you, Manny, and Juan, and Steve. I feel like I know you guys. You know, I see you all the time in here and stuff like that, and I don't really even have a face to put to the name sometimes, except for the ones I see you on Instagram sometimes too. So, you know, and there's plenty of other resources too on YouTube for so many things. That's why I try to do this school live the way that I did, because I figured like we could go to all these different places to try to learn barbering as a whole, but it's so hard to find exactly what you need to be walked through one step at a time. And that's why I'm trying to do this academy. So when we go through the phases, we're going through phase one. Everybody understood phase one. I know you guys did. Phase two, we're a little iffy on still because we got the clipper over comb business going on. And phase three, we talked about it before. We're going to get into the shears, and we are using the mannequins now, and we're doing live demonstrations with the mannequins. So that's kind of cool. Warning, do a high fade only during an interview. If you go low, then they go high. If you are knocked out, leave nothing to correct. So you're saying maybe I should do some trivia, have you guys answer some questions, and then if you guys are answering wrong, I don't know, that would actually be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. So the higher the fade goes, the more questions you answer right till there's nothing left. So, yeah. But in other news, as far as like I don't know what's going on in Florida, man. We're incredibly busy. This is the strangest season I've ever experienced in my life, because I think part of what might be going on, and I was looking at an article somewhere, I can't remember where, that people in the large cities are searching for places to go. They said sites like Realtor and some of the other ones, they said like people who are searching for houses, those searches are up something like 60%. And I'm just theorizing that if people are going to start moving out of these big cities because of the scare, think about it. If you lived in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, some places in Cali, you might be looking for a place to leave the big city behind, and you're going to start looking for places that are, okay, I want good weather, I want low taxes. There's a pretty good chance a lot of these people are going to wind up in Florida, and a lot of them own homes here anyways. So I feel like Florida's just a good spot. It really is. All right. So he said he's been barbering for 3 months, and he's a perfectionist. Yeah, Chicago's another great point. I mean, really, if you move down here from Chicago, probably no matter what you're doing, it would be a pay raise just based on the tax structure. But I can't imagine. I can't imagine how much longer all these restrictions and stuff can hold up. I really hope people can get back to work and stuff soon. I hope you guys can get back to supporting your families and things like that. Because it's sad to see it, But I feel like in Florida, they're making it seem like we're a lot worse off than we are. But for the most part, we're doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well. If I only had enough money to buy one shear, what size shear would you recommend? That's an easy question. I would say the 7.5 inch one that I have from Shear Police. And again, you can use the code Eddie at Shear Police, and that gets you a huge discount because those are kind of expensive. So the Shear Police discount is also Eddie, and I would get the 7.5 inch because it's actually a good length for both. You can cut the top. 7.5 inches isn't too unmanageable, where you're going to cut yourself a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty good, and you can use the 7-inch very effectively for shear over comb, which would be my most important thing. Like I can't go without that skill because shear over comb saves me so much time. It really does. So, that's a good point. Luciano, he says companies are realizing they don't need offices. A lot of businesses are going to be completely changed. I think the structure of a lot of businesses is going to change. I was dealing with somebody the other day. I was cutting their hair, and they told me that during the restrictions they got laid off, but their company did about the same amount of money with most of those people laid off. So now they're realizing, hey, we were carrying around a lot of people that we don't need to pay for. So some of those people are going to be forced to find other jobs. So, I think that everything that I've been through in barbering so far has been resoundingly positive. And in fact, I was talking to Austin from Gamma. He was talking about how the Barber products are selling so fast that they can barely keep them in stock. But the beauty products are not. So he brought up a good point, and he said that, people are just not getting dressed up and they're not going out the way they were. So that means that, women are probably finding it less likely that they might need the blow dries or they might need the styles every week that they were getting before, or their color or whatever, because they're just not seeing a lot of people. So that is not a positive sign. But on the other hand, the positive note for barbering is people do still need haircuts no matter what happens. And there's been so many instances where people were barbering has been tried for me and it still stands tall. So one of the things that I remember specifically here in Florida was we had a hurricane, Hurricane Irma. That was like a huge deal for us. It shut the town down for a couple weeks. And, so the moment it was over, we didn't have no electricity for a while. And we were like working on things and doing stuff. The first day back in the shop, now I'd been out of the shop for like 5 days. I got lucky. My power went back on faster than most people's. My boss called me. He's like, yo, we can start next week or you can go in today if you want. Now me, I'm a hustler. So I was like, you say it's open? Click, I'm going. I go there. I'm not expecting to do much. Now this hurricane displaced everything. There's trees all over the place. I mean, that day, I went back and I made a boatload of money. Like, I can't believe how many people came in on that first day, and it never stopped. And it taught me that barbering may be affected, like temporarily in some little ways, but indefinitely through the recession, through like the '08 recession, we did well. Coming back from this COVID thing, I think most barbers could only coin this as like insanity. That first 3 weeks back from the small closure that we had, but other people's closures were larger. You have to figure it was like 4 to 6 weeks of just total chaos in the shop. And there were so many new people that were looking for new barbers because there was barbershops that closed. There was barbers who refused to cut. There was people who, just were looking for someone because everyone was so full. There was all kinds of stuff going on that basically meant a boatload of customers were just up for grabs. So far, I hadn't seen a pandemic thrown at the barber business, but I've seen a lot of stuff thrown at the barber business, and it seems like it is probably one of the most reliable sources of income. Once you build your clientele, no one can take it from you. You own it, and any barber could pretty much punch his ticket once you have the clientele, and that grind to get that clientele grind, that's not easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for anybody. It takes time, patience, dedication, and doing stuff that you don't feel like doing, even when you don't feel like doing it. That's like, it sounds funny, but like, it ain't about like what you do when you feel like doing stuff. It's what you do when you don't feel like doing stuff. When you want to just lay down, when you want to just, say veg out, play some video games, watch TV. It's like, tell yourself that, you know what, man, that's not gonna move the needle for me. I need to move the needle forward, so I'm going to make this post. I'm going to give out this card. I'm going to do those things. Yeah, actually, yes. The alpha was delivered. It's not delivered, I should say. It was sent to me, and it could be here as soon as tomorrow. These things that when Gamma sends stuff out, they usually come really fast. I actually got sent 2 of these prodigies. One got lost in the mail. They sent one to like Tennessee on accident, not Gamma's fault. So he called me. He was like, "You haven't got it?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Hold up." And the next day, it was already here. So it's kind of funny how like I'm sure that will be here soon, and I can't wait to break that one down. And with the addition of the alpha, it would. I think it's hard. Let's think about this for a second. Gamma's not been around for that long, or Stylecraft. You're looking at like what, 3 years maybe, and no one knew him for the first year. Barely anybody knew him for the second year, and now they've made waves that are just undeniable. And I don't think there's too many barbers who haven't heard of them. And all right, so they're a relatively new company. They only have 3 barber tools. You got your Ergo, your Absolute. And your Absolute Zero, actually, and then your Absolute Hitter, and now you got your Prodigy. So you got 4 because we just released this one. So only only having 4 tools, they've made a hell of a lot of waves with just those 4 tools. All right, so yeah, right. So yeah, so some of you guys are asking about the magic clips and stuff like that. And one thing that I wanted to do tonight before it's over is I wanted to talk to you guys about a handful of different clippers and my favorite techniques with them. Okay, so if you guys want to start naming clippers, I'll give you the technique that I felt worked best with the clipper. So for instance, I can start with the and I understand that some of you guys might not know some of you guys might not know the terms that I'm going to use to explain this, but I'm going to tell you guys about, I felt like the half attack worked well with this. I felt like that worked well with that. And, you'll get it. So I felt like this is actually something I should probably make a full video about, but this is kind of like my proving ground to find out. All right. So what if I went through all of the main manufacturers and I just told you what technique I felt was best to use with that after many years of experimenting with each one of them. All right. So let's start with the OSTER fast feeds. What's up, mama? Let's start with the OSTER fast feeds. OSTER fast feeds with ceramic blade, zero gapped, and you're definitely going to need your purple guards, your purple magnetics. I want to set something straight. There is no need for your 0.5 guard or your 1.5 guard in your purple guard set. You don't need them. There's actually a very small amount of evidence that you could say, okay, the 1 1/2 could be used. But I'm telling you, watch my guard video. I prove it. You have all the lengths that you need. Okay? So here we go. With the OSTER fast feeds, with the ceramic blade, zero gap the proper way, the best way that I have found to cut with that is the open taper attack, the open taper guideline, and follow your steps in order. Don't skip the half, okay? The half is called a zero, so don't skip the zero. Just go straight from your open taper guideline. Once you've done it open, close it, go straight to your zero, then go to your 1, follow your way up, okay? That's the best. That's the best way that you can do it, all right? Now, somebody said seniors, so I'll say seniors. Seniors, let's talk about corded seniors first. Corded seniors seem to work quite well from everything. Hey, man, I appreciate that, Matt. Let's hit that bell. DJ Airhorn. Boom. Oh, I'm not even sure if you guys can hear that. Yeah. All right. So anyways, yeah. So let's go back to the seniors for a second. And that's what's cool about the alphas is basically the alphas is going to be that unit that can remove a ton of bulk. It can knock down hair quickly. And that's kind of what Gamma was missing. So that's going to be a nice addition to the kit. Now back to the seniors. My favorite way to cut with the seniors is with, I love the stagger tooth blade a lot. The STD blade for the top blade. The wedge blade, okay, it's pretty good. But I think the standard, and I think the best seniors, by the way, was the Wall 5-star seniors. And my favorite was the black one with the V9000 with the cord. That was like my favorite Wall I ever used. Okay, so the best technique that I feel like works with that is I feel like skipping the half guard works the best with that. The open taper attack, skip the half guard. Now let's talk to the seniors for the cordless. Now when you go into cordless, things got strange because rotary motors are more powerful than magnetic motors, which is what was in the seniors corded. Now that's what's interesting about this topic because technically they're supposed to be stronger, but they didn't quite seem to cut as well. So that was my experience at least. And when you first got them, they cut quite well, but after a while they start to slip. So with that being said, not to bore you too much, I feel like that half attack worked best with most of the Wall, especially the Magic Clip. The half attack with the Magic Clip was so nice and efficient. All right. Somebody wrote Gamma Plus doesn't have a 0.5 or a 1 1/2 clip. Actually, they're working on a 1 1/2 clip, but the 0.5, they call it a 0. It's still a 1/16, and all of those lengths do wind up. They do wind up matching up pretty good. They do. All right. Next one here, Andis Cordless Master. Okay. Ed, I like your name. So, anyways, the Andis Cordless Master, my favorite way to work with that is, again, with those Andis purple guards, I think following them in order and not skipping the half guard or not skipping the zero guard works best. Now, the Andis Cordless Masters are a funny machine because they got all kinds of power, yet there's many times where I've gotten snags and pulls, and they've gotten kind of loud, but they do work well. So yeah, the only thing that I could say about the Andis Cordless Masters is the very bottom skin line, being that I'm putting it in super harsh, it can be a little bit to get out. It can be a little bit tough to get out, and I found that it actually works a little bit better for me to go back with my trimmer to help knock out that bottom line. So again, I would say open taper guideline and follow your steps in order. That seemed to be the best for me. And I felt that way also about the corded version. I really didn't feel like there was too much of a change. So, when we get down to it, there is better techniques to use just based on different machines and how they cut and how they deal with bulk and different textures and whether they deal with curls. And, I've noticed that I know that a lot of this has to do with people being sponsors or sponsorships or whatever, but I've noticed that on Instagram there's a lot of barbers who will use more than 3. Sometimes I've seen, I think, as many as like 4 clippers being used on the same haircut. And I've never really felt the need to do that. I've always felt like you can get mostly everything done with 1 clipper. Now, if you're going to use a detachable because you want to, you want the bulk to get carried by that, that's something. But, beyond that, I don't really think there's a need to switch for so many, clippers in one. All right, so yeah, Andis corded, I would say probably my favorite method, and I like the standard blade that came on that, not the fade blade. I didn't like the fade blade. The fade blade is just too sharp, and a lot of guys really like the Fat Master blade, which I'll be honest, I've never really experimented much with that, but I like the concept of not having to switch guards. But you are switching clippers, so I guess, just as soon as putting a clipper down and picking a clipper up, you could have just put a new guard on it. So, I felt that also the same thing, open taper guideline. And hold up, I'll get to this one. And yeah, so he says, what did he say about the 50 cal mag? I got the 50 cal mag 3rd generation. That's the same thing. I would say the same. I think the half attack works best with the 50 cal. When I was using the 50 cal, it was about the same. I would say most clippers that are struggling a little bit or maybe not cutting well in the open position, you're going to win when you put it in the closed position with the half guard, because a half guard is 1.5 millimeters. Now, a closed clipper is 0.5 of a millimeter. That's half of a single millimeter. When we put these on, that's 2 millimeters total, right? If I take that off and I just open this up, that's 2.5 millimeters. So you're actually cutting it a tiny bit shorter than your open taper would be, which is kind of why it works so smooth. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the donation. So the next one, 50 Blades of Gray. What's up, brother? You taught me a ton. You're one of the guys who got me motivated to start my own YouTube channel. That's great, man. Check them out. 50 Blades of Gray. I appreciate that. And, that's what I'm hoping to get you guys to do, because I really feel like YouTube is a serious, I feel like YouTube is a serious thing these days. Like, there is still old men who don't understand when they see me filming or they see me going around with cameras. Like, I think that they just think that I'm vain and that I'm taking pictures of myself, or that I'm just doing something. Like, they don't understand that there's actually, people are being affected by some of the stuff we're doing. We're inspiring people. We're changing lives. And if you start a YouTube channel and it turns out to be successful, that's awesome, man. Like, hopefully you can feed your family and you have one extra, thing to rely on if everything else goes, kaput again. So he wrote, I honestly think the cordless Masters is the best clipper ever made, in my opinion. And you wouldn't be alone. There is probably tons of barbers. I mean, maybe hundreds of thousands of barbers who feel that way. And you know what's interesting about Andis, and I was thinking about this the other night when I was working on my script. You guys are gonna laugh at my next video. Like it's hilarious. I could just run you guys a quick little sneak peek. I could. You guys want to see a little sneak peek of my new video? You want to see it? Let me know in the comments here. I'll show you a sneak peek of the beginning. But yeah, you know, I was thinking about this while Wall was out selling you guys the same clipper over and over again. Andis was literally selling the same clipper over and over again and not being devious about it. They were just saying, here's the Andis Masters. Next year, they were like, well, we still got the Masters. They're the same. And one year, they painted the cover because it was like the 99th anniversary or the 100th anniversary, whatever. And they just kept doing it. And, you know, here was Wall. Wall was like, oh, I got to do this. I'm going to put a red cap on this. All right, you guys want to see a sneak peek of the video that's coming out? All right, fine. Fine, you twisted my arm. Don't laugh, all right? I'm gonna try not to laugh. I'm going to play you guys the first, like, couple minutes, okay? Let's see here. YouTube finished projects. I got to go to YouTube and download it. I didn't even save it. Give me 1 second, guys. This doesn't take long. But, yeah, so while Wall was out there trying to reinvent the wheel every time, Andis was practically just scooting by doing the same thing, but not even being devious about it. They were just saying, hey, you can still buy the Masters. We still got them. We got them for set. We'll have them next year, too. Don't worry about it. It's downloading. All right, guys. I'm only going to show you the very beginning, all right? I will. I got you. I'm going to show it. The Babyliss FX 657. I'm not sure what that is. I do remember the one black one that Babyliss made. Now, everything that I've ever had Babyliss broke, but I'm going to say that the Gold FX is holding up pretty good. But when you get right down to it, I haven't spent a lot of time on the Babyliss clippers. All right. Rebel Babo, he said he's got a YouTube channel. He just dropped some new content. That's cool. The FX 8700, they got one of those. How many? If they got one called the FX 8700, does that mean they had 8,700 drops? Like, no, we still didn't get it right. How many have you made? 8,699. Oh, well, we need to make one more. All right, you guys. I'm going to go silent for a minute, man. I'm going to put this video in here, and let's see what happens. I think this is it. Let me just double check. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is it. All right, let me get rid of myself here. And this. And hold up. I got to mute myself too so that you guys can hear.
Here at the Wall Clipper Corporation, we're all about innovation. We just want to bring the best products to our customers. But we're in a bit of a bind here, guys. Everybody's innovating new stuff, and they're kind of getting stuff out way ahead of us, and they're doing a better job than us in many cases. What do you guys think? What are we going to do for the next year? What are we going to do to be creative? You got any ideas, Bill? I got a great idea. Let's start over fresh. We'll start right from the beginning. We'll tear up the drawing boards. We'll redesign the clipper. We'll make it perfect for the hand. We'll give it the power. We'll give it the looks. We'll give it the customizability. And most of all, we'll give it the best blade that anybody's ever seen. We'll make it cordless. Bill, that is the dumbest idea I have ever heard. Can you hear yourself right now? What about you, Jim? I got an idea. We'll give them a new clipper lid. We'll put a different lid on the top, and we'll call it, wait, it's coming. We'll call it the Icon. No. Better yet, Barbers do tapers. I heard. Did you hear Barbers do tapers? We'll call it the taper. No, that's not cool enough, Jim. It's not cool enough. The super taper. No. Wait a minute. Super taper. We're getting somewhere. It's almost, though. It's close. the Super Taper 2000. An arbitrary number? That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Jim, this is the type of forward thinking we need at this company. So we'll develop the new lids, we'll put them on the old units, and we'll sell them. Is that really what they do? Is this really how the Wall Focus Group works? We'll never know. But we are back with another one here today. Gamma is innovating. Gamma is putting their best foot forward. And today, we got the wireless prodigy. Let's go.
All right, you guys, what do you think, man? All right, yeah. So really, I feel like that captures how I feel about what Wall has been up to for someone. No, I'm not saying Wall's a bad company. I'm not even knocking them at all. I'm just pointing out something I see. It just seems like the icon, the super taper, the magic clip, the senior, the designer, the legend, I don't know. There really hasn't been a whole lot of innovation taking place lately, and I feel like companies like Gamma and even Gamma, Caliber, JRL, these companies are small, right? And they're putting they're putting a hit on these guys, and they're showing these people, you know, you guys like that? The guy in the suit, right? Luciano, you got me laughing. That's priceless. That's priceless. But, these guys are putting pressure on the major companies. So now the major companies got to be thinking, like, if I'm Andis and I'm Wall, I'm scratching my head thinking, what have we been doing for the last 10 years? When a company like Gamma can bring 3 products to market and beat most of what they have. Like, I don't understand how that could be. Matt, I know you may have come a little bit later, but earlier in the show I was saying that, like, as of right now, I don't see, like, if you had to pick one tool to do it all, it would be the Ergo. And it was funny because I was watching one of these other barbers. I was watching a tutorial right before this because I too watch tutorials. I too might pick something up, and I want to hear what other people are saying. And I haven't seen anybody really bash Gamma yet. I've been expecting someone to come out because there has to be a differing opinion somewhere. But across the board, it seems quite uniform that these are going to be the clipper to try to take down. And I don't even know if the bigger companies care, or I don't really know where their heads at, but it just seems like you've had so much time to do more, and I would even give more credit to Babyliss at this point than I would to Wall or Andis, because Babyliss is actually doing stuff. It seems like Babyliss is actually listening to Barber. They're creating stuff. They got a good team behind them. I think that Babyliss has the right people in place to really change the company. But one of the other things that sucks about Babyliss is if you lost your charger cable, or I have a puppy. If my dog chewed my charger cable, I can't go buy a charger cable. Like, most of the stuff for Babyliss, there's no support for. And that was why 614 Barber Supply didn't even want to carry a lot of that stuff, because they were like, look, we can't fix it if we can't get the parts. So, who knows? So yeah. Anyways, that's where it's at. So I'm glad I showed you guys that little sneak peek. It's been hard sitting on that. It has. I wanted to release that right away, but there's a certain algorithm. There's a certain flow to this, and we gotta respect it. So I hope you guys will still watch the upload tomorrow, because, like I said, it's gonna be up tomorrow morning. And if you guys enjoy it, just make sure you drop a little content, share it, like it. all the things that I know all of you guys who are here in this room, I know that you guys are always helping me out, and I'm super appreciative of it. So when you get right down to it, you got, the way I see it, you got basically a handful of companies that are making do with less and creating more. And then you have these two large companies, Andis and Wall, who have the resource, have the ability, have the engineers, have the experience. But it seems to me sometimes as though they have not reached out to barbers who were just being honest with them, like, yo, this isn't working. I mean, this isn't cool. Like, why does the senior only last for 2 haircuts when I can do more than 10 with this? And I'm being conservative here. I've actually done about 16, 17 haircuts with this on a Saturday before, and it not die. So you're telling me there wasn't a battery in existence when they released that heavily priced seniors? I mean, I don't think you can justify charging that much money for a clipper that only lasts for 2 cuts. I'm sorry. At least go get the Tomb 45 Eco battery, and all of a sudden they become a machine that can compete. But why should you have to go out of your way? You know, it just kind of stinks. But you know, on the other hand, if you're using like a charging mat or something like that, you're just putting it down. And no one from Wall or Andis has ever reached out to me. And, you know, not many people have. I mean, I'm be honest. I mean, I'm almost at 80,000 subscribers. I am fortunate enough to have the sponsors I have. But for the most part, you know, I'm open to help. Like, it doesn't matter who calls me. Like, if you called me and you were like, hey, I got this product, I'm not sure if people are going to like it, what do you think? I'd be more than happy. I'd be more than happy to help any company out, you know. But they haven't done that. And sometimes I just don't understand who is in these focus groups when they're coming up with these new products, and who would think that some of this stuff is a good idea. Because, like, if you were just to tell me, like, what do barbers really want? Barbers want a clipper that's comfortable in their hand. They want something that when they hold it, it's not going to feel like it's going to drop. So it's nice to have some grip. So whatever Andis was thinking about when they made that bar of soap, they should have released along with the bar of soap, and I'm talking about the Masters cordless, they should have released like something to put around it to stop you from dropping it, because that thing is it's slippery as a greased up pig. But it is just so easy to drop that. So I'm just saying, like, what do we want? We want battery life, all right? So we want some time, but we don't want our batteries, we don't want our clippers to be gigantic. But even if they do have to be bigger, I'm willing to deal with that, you know? And the other thing we want, what else do we don't want it to snag. We want to have a good sharp blade. You know, we don't want to have issues with it. And we want it to be able to blend smooth, and we want it to be able to erase skin lines. It really doesn't seem like our list of demands are you know, just it doesn't seem like our list of demands is that high. I like the fact that we can have a stand. We can set it in a cradle in a stand, and it can charge while we're just waiting. So that's cool. Putting it in a vertical position reduces the amount of space on a station. So that's cool. So the list of demands that we have is not that high. And I feel like had Andis or Wall listened to some of the barbers, they were more than capable of producing a machine like this probably 10 years ago, you know? So, you know, it's just, you know, it's just a thing that, just an observation from someone who's been here a long time. I guess the real question is, does OSTER even care about barbers anymore? Because I know OSTER makes like toasters, and they got like appliances, and, you know, they do all this other stuff, and I'm sure they make a boatload of money on all that stuff. But the fact that they do all those other things means that they don't really care so much about the hair unit. I feel like at OSTER, they're like, all right, guys, here's $10 million. That's the budget for several of our projects. So they're like, okay, the division who makes the toasters, you guys get like $3 million. Go make them toasters. You guys, you make blenders, go make the blenders. Take those. That's $3 million. Okay, so what do we got left? We got $4 million left. You got $10 million. All right. So the barber unit, you guys, we're gonna give you $25 and a bus ticket. Go figure it out. And then they take the other money and they just distribute it to their executives. Is is that what happened? So I don't know, you know. So we got cordless wall detailers. Cordless wall detailers. That's actually that's a good thing to talk about here. The Volare X2. Oh my God. So all right, I'll talk about those in a second. So the cordless wall detailers are they're actually not bad. They're not terrible. They're large. You know, they're large, but they're not bad. They're not a bad machine. Oh man. So Babyliss came out with the Volare X2 clipper, and I'm gonna be honest. This clipper, I had the first round of these. I bought that thing right away, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I felt like that was the best blade out of anything. It was the strongest. It was super quiet. The battery life was fantastic. But like to not put a lever, to put that stupid click thing there, drove me up a wall, and eventually it broke, and then I only had 3 adjustments, which made it even more useless. And then the other thing that happened was I lost the charger, and it turns out you can't buy a charger. You gotta buy a whole new clipper. So, you know, and then that was actually the clipper that started the feud that I began with Babyliss, the one man feud that I had with them. But the thing that started it was I actually sent them a Volare X2 that had messed up. It stopped charging, and that was only like 4 months into using it, right? I send it back. I'm not really upset at this point, but then I don't hear nothing for months. And I'm like, well, how long does this take? You know, I call, and it was a real fight to prove, because I had the tracking number. I was like, what do you think I sent you? A Christmas card? Because this lady's like, we don't got nothing from you. I'm sorry, we didn't get nothing from you. We can't just send you out a clipper for nothing. And I'm like, so you're telling me I sent you mine? Well, make a long story short, after fighting with her for an hour, they sent me one, and then I just sold it immediately. Let's see. Have you changed your mind about the Andis cordless T outliner? If you put a GTX blade on it, they cut better. I agree with you. Actually, Chad has I don't know if he's got a GTX. Chad, are you still here? He was in the chat a little while ago, but he has a blade on there, and he's been telling me it's been cutting really well. But if I'm being honest, I haven't used those really since back when they came out, and I haven't really given them another chance. If you think about it, the thing is like, if they were releasing that, it was way too expensive. It was like $240 when they first released it. If you're gonna release something that has a reputation like the Andis T outliner does, that was like the GTX was like one of the holy grails of this business. It was like every barbershop you've ever walked into 10 years ago, there was an Andis T outliner on a station, and probably a good chance somebody had a GTX in there, but those were like so commonplace to see at every barbershop. They probably still are for the most part, you know, especially older barbershops that ain't paying attention to this new stuff that's been coming out. And you're going to release your flagship cordless, and you're going to give somebody, you know, something that doesn't cut very good, and you're going to let that fly. That was a huge mistake. That was a huge oversight, especially to do that. And then, you know, tell people, well, look, if you put this blade on it, it cuts better. We got to do some modifications to it, whatever. But like, I would be fine if it was $100, $150, and then you had to fix it up a little bit. Cool. But like for $240 when they first released it, that's just insanity. Somebody says the cordless fast feeds are coming. Now, I'm really curious about that. But I'll tell you, I had a cordless fast feed. It was a custom-made cordless fast feed. Some of you guys seen it. I released a very small sneak peek of it on my Instagram. I had to send it back to the person who put it back together because we were having a little issue with something. But it did work, and it did cut. And it had, this was like 4 years ago probably, 3-4 years ago. I should have Campo on the channel one of these times, man. This dude's amazing. Panasonic has that same blade on it. And they had some weird twisty dial or something to move your taper up and down. That was a little crazy. But all right, I tried to tell. It's funny. Back when I only had 10,000 subscribers, I was at the show. I went up to the Panasonic booth, and I tried to explain to the lady there some of the improvements they could make that would make me want to purchase it. I was just being nice. I didn't even have to stop. I was just trying to be nice and just say like, look, if you really want to gain some attention here, or have some kind of desire for us to even stop at this booth, I just told her like, there needs to be a couple changes made. It looks like you have a good quality machine. It looks like some of the things behind it are what do you call it? Solid. It just seems like you're going to have to get something that cuts a little bit closer. And I told her a couple things, but they didn't want to hear it. They didn't care. All right. So let's see here. I'm in my mailbox. I'm going to critique just like two. I got to go. I'm running a little bit further behind than I expected. This was actually a pretty fun show, by the way, even though my guest couldn't make it. I don't know if I mentioned, but next Tuesday, same time, we're going to go live again. We're going to have Chico Boom with us. For some of you guys who don't know who he is, you guys could check him out on Instagram. Hold up a second. Let's actually do that real quick. Then I'm going to critique one cut, and then I'm going to ride out. All right, so let me go to Instagram. I just want you guys to see who he is, because this dude does amazing work, and he's a real inspirational dude. You guys kind of see that right off the bat. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna make this. All right, check it out, and we'll make this big. Okay, so yeah, here he is. He's a author. He's released some books about barbering. Actually, he's got one book about barbering, and I believe he's got another one coming. And he's got a lot of inspirational quotes and stuff. But if you guys were living in our area, he's got this shop that's just so nice. Look at this. All right, so they be smoking cigars in here and everything. I mean, look at how beautiful this shop is. I just think this concept is awesome. It's called like the Black Sheep Men's Parlor, and I wanted him to talk about some of the things, the inspiration and the stuff behind this and things like that. So when you get down to it, this is going to be a really fun show, and I can't wait till he can come on, and that's going to be happening next week. Okay, next Tuesday, same time, same place. So you're going to get me live a couple times. All right, so let me go to my mailboxes here. Let's go to Prime Time, Master Prime Time here, and first one's first. We have Dominic, and he has a question. I just answered that question a little while ago. He was asking, do you need to have the 1-on-1 half guard? And I told him you don't. Okay, and I'm just gonna do one more here. Is everybody still with me? I think I closed off my comments here. Okay, I see you here. All right, so this is from Afan Qasim. I'm probably not saying it right. I'm trying my best here. I'm 17-year-old from the UK. I started teaching myself how to cut hair from YouTube videos like yours in quarantine. Let me know any criticism on my low fade. And I actually did send him an email back to this, because this was something he sent me right after the show. But I figured I'd share what I told him to you guys. Hey, what's going on? MMA's back in the house. Okay, so what I'm going to say about this one here is he's doing a good job getting rid of his skin line. You guys can see that whatever type of line that he initially started with, which I'm not sure, you can tell that he blended that out pretty well. All right. And the trouble really didn't begin until we get into these longer lengths. And what I would tell you is this guy did a good thing. He left more weight. He left more darkness towards the parietal ridge, which meant that he had less chance to mess up. So it looks to me like I could almost make this cut just right with some clipper over comb in the right spots. and some shear over comb to blend in some of this, and maybe some texturizing shears probably could have done it. So at this point, I probably would have put the clippers down and seen what kind of damage I could do with the shears and with the texturizing shears as well. And I think you may have been able to smooth most of that out. But it looks like you're on the right track. And if you're 17 years old and you've only been cutting hair for a short time, I would say you're doing pretty well for yourself, buddy. You are. So the king is here. The king is back. The king is late. he wrote the king is late. So for those of you guys who don't know, MMA Barber Life, he's got a barber channel. Hey, MMA, while you're listening, I want you to hear this. I found this website. I should say my mom found this website, and it was for the best. Let me see if I could pull this up, because I think you guys will find this funny. My mom sent me a page. It was like the best tutorials on barbering ever made. Somebody, somewhere, somehow put together this list of the best ones ever made. So let me see if I can find that message she sent. I would have to send it to myself or something. Yeah, well, anyways, I don't know where the site is. I can't find it. But basically, they listed us. They listed us as the best. You were in there, MMA. It was like 2 above us, and then there was us out of, quote, the world. So this website's got to be legit. I'm going to go with it. But they did. They listed us as the best. If you guys want, I could dig a little bit more and see if I could try to get it up here. Let's see here. It's called hairstory.com. Is that a legit website? Let's see here. I want to share it to my Mac. Hairstory.com. I wonder if I just go there, if I'll be able to see it. Okay, well, it's not working for me when I go here. For some reason, when I pull it up on my phone, it works perfect. I don't really know how the heck my mom found this, but anyways, it listed us as the best in the world. You had a good edge up tutorial. You did do a good edge up tutorial. That was sick. You know what makes me sick is today. I'm not even kidding you. Today I did, like, if you could copy and paste the link and just put it right in the comment here, maybe I could look it up that way. But if you guys can't understand how sick I am over this. I filmed one of the nicest tutorials I've filmed in a while. I put the time into it. I filmed, and I wasn't recording when I did the edge up, and I enhanced the edge, and I did a lot of work to it, and it just makes me sick to think that I didn't do it. You sent it to me. Let me see here if I can find it real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, it won't come through on my computer. It'll come through on my phone. I can still get to it on my phone. I just don't know how to send it back to my computer or to open that web page. Let's see. What happens if I Google best barber tutorials? Best barber tutorials. Oh, here we go. It really is the top 10. Okay, here we go. I found it, guys. All right. So all I did was I typed in best barber tutorials on Google. I went to this place, hairstory.com, and here we are. YouTube has many things to many hairdressers, blah, blah, blah. I have no idea who put this in, but that video was removed. So this is the first video, the Fortkin, and he's only 15 years old, I guess, when he does this. So, and then I am, bam, right there. The next one. Mr. Eddie Barber from the YouTube Academy explains everything about executing a perfect fade, the best way to hold the clipper guards for the best results, how important it is to complete each step thoroughly. His passion for barbering and teaching makes this an easy and informative one to watch. And this is the one that my man MMA drops the blade. And you know what? This is the video that I found you on. I watched this video. I was thinking about making this video. And then I watched yours, and I thought, why would I pollute the internet with nonsense when he had done such a nice job on this video? So if you guys need to learn about anything about these detachable blades, I think he did an excellent job. Now, out of curiosity, let's keep going down this list and see what else we got. We got Nomad Barber. All right. We got, who's this guy? Not sure. The Razor Fade Pompadour. I can't tell if that's the name or his haircut. David E. with an E. He's got one. Is there anybody else I know on here? How to fade. Rob the model gets faded. How to fade step by step. So they got us. They got us on here. They got us on here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that we would come up like that in there. And if we need to seek further validation, I guess I could Google all kinds of stuff that potentially could bring up some of these results. But anyways, that's basically all I got for you guys today. Without you guys, there would be no top 10. No one would know anything about who me or MMA were. And, none of this would have happened without people like you guys supporting us and doing all the things that you do. So I really do appreciate. Oh, you know what? You're right. I did watch the video before that. That was the video initially. I remember I put a comment on it too. I was like, this is incredible. I mean, you demonstrated a knowledge of the guards. And if I'm recalling, you were still pretty new to barbering. I think during that video you said you were barbering for like 2 years or something when you dropped that. So it was pretty impressive to see someone with that much knowledge, someone with that much time in the game have that robust of a knowledge about the guards. So, all right, you guys, listen, I had a blast. This has been fun. I will see you guys again next Saturday night. We're going to probably do some more mannequin work. I haven't really got it all figured out, but I will figure it out. And once again, on your way out, man, if you guys could just hit that thumbs up on the way out, it really helps me out. And I will see you guys. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh, and don't forget my upload tomorrow. That's going to be good. There's more jokes in that video than just what you see in the beginning, so don't think that you don't need to watch it. All right, peace.